Watch this video if you want to learn how to create an origami 12-pointed star. So the first thing you're going to do is fold your paper in half. And as you're folding it, you want to make sure that the corners are like perfectly on top of each other, because if they're off by a little bit, it's going to make a lot of the other folds not line up. So try and get these first few steps to be as precise as possible. You're going to fold it in half one way, and then you're going to fold it in half the other way. I would run like your finger or a pencil or something really flat over this so that you make sure that these folds are nice and flat. And then you're going to do that 12 times. So I have my 12 pieces of paper, and you can use 12 different colors or a mix of 4 colors, 3 of each. So now that I have made my fold, I am going to take one, and I'm going to make sure that the opening is to the bottom. And I am going to take the left side and fold the edge into the center fold here. I'm going to open it back up. And now I want to create a triangle that goes from the tip of this center straight down to this corner. And when I do that, I'm going to put like my nail here or my finger here so I can get a good bend around that tip, because this will become the tip of your stars, so it's really important that it is pointy. It is not going to go all the way to the bottom. Instead, it's going to be about half an inch up. You just double check by making sure that tip is exactly on the center. And if it's not, just fold it again. All right, so now it's more on the center. It's in my line, and I have a nice straight flat edge here. Then I'm going to do that on all 12 pieces. So now that I have made this fold, I am going to make the next series. So I flip it around, and I just press this down one more time. And I'm going to take this corner and line it up with this line. So it's going to fold like this. And again, this is going to be the point of my stars, so I want to make sure that I'm getting a really nice pointy point there. The edges are going to line up, and you should see that this part of the paper is in a straight line. I'm going to fold out. So I fold that in. I'm going to take this side now, and I'm going to fold it out. And fold it down. So this edge is along the edge of this paper, and the fold is right in the center. And then I'm going to take this corner and pick it up and flip it all the way over to that fold that you just laid down. Again, making it pointy, and the edge here should line up with the edge on the inside piece. All right, so let's do that one more time. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to fold it in. I'm going to fold it out. I'm going to fold it over. All right, the next step is that you're gonna take that top fold and you're just gonna fold it back to this edge. And then it should be a mirror image on both sides. And you're going to repeat this on all 12 papers. All right, so the next step is when you look at the top, you'll see that there's two pieces of paper with this opening here. And you're gonna put your finger inside, hold down the other side, and use your thumb and your pointer finger to pop it out. Not all the way to this side, but like kind of up a little bit, and then push it down. You want to make sure that this point stays very pointy. And you'll see that this crease on the outside lines up with the crease in between these two parts. And it should line back up in the center here. Flatten that out. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to hold down the other side. I'm going to use my thumb and my pointer finger to stick this on the inside, and use my thumb and my pointer finger to flip it up and then press it down. And at this point I can try and move it to make sure that this is pointy. We're going to repeat that 12 times. All right, our next step is to take the side, the right side, and we're gonna fold it back. If you flip it over, you'll see the edge is gonna line up with the center, and it's gonna be exactly on top of the other side. I'm just gonna repeat that with the other side. I'm gonna try and line it up with what is behind it and flatten down. So again, I'm going to take the side, I flipped it over, I'm going to take the side, flip it up, making a really good point, flipping the other side, and going down. The next step is to fold the points of the paper down. So you can see that there's a line here already, and you're gonna have that be the folding part. So if you do that, the edge is gonna line up right in the center, and this edge is gonna line right up on this side. You will have this little piece coming over, and you want that. So it should look like it cuts it right, like this. Comes on this side, comes on this side. And you're gonna do that with all 4 pieces. Once you have that, you'll see that these 2 should go straight across, and you have like a kite shape. All right, and so the last step is to actually put it together. So I'm gonna take my first 2 pieces that I have here, And I'm gonna start to visualize what it would actually look like. If I am using the same, if I have like repeat colors and I want it to look like it's the same color throughout the star, I know that it will eventually look like this. But I can't put these two pieces together. I need to have like another color cutting through it. So I'm gonna take another color, doesn't matter which, and I know they're gonna go kind of like this. So the flaps that you've just folded go inside this long diagonal, long straight opening here. So I just push them in like that. And I wanna make sure that like the points are going outwards. Sometimes I see some people put it in like this, but now this flap doesn't have anywhere to go. So you're wanting to put the points at the bottom all towards each other. All right, so I have my first one done. And I'm gonna start to see like where are other openings that I can put other colors, because I still don't have a color that I can put this blue through. So I'm gonna take my third color and see, okay, I could probably put this right inside this yellow. All right. So this is where having paper clips will be really handy. If you can paper clip these flaps down here, it will hold the blue and the yellow in place so that as you're working, the papers won't fall out. I don't have any paper clips, so I'm gonna do this just by like holding and being really careful when I put them in so I don't make them fall out. All right, so now I'm looking, I see that I have my yellow here, I have my pink here. The last color is gonna be this green for me, and it's gonna go in here. And then I'm just gonna check, make sure nothing fell out as I did that. So I have all of my colors, and these two pieces left need to be connected. So this blue is actually gonna squeeze right in on this green. And now I have all four colors connected, and this is the first major part of my star. Done. All right, so now I'm gonna sit back and just think about what color comes next. If you're using all different colors, this part, right, does not matter. You can just go ahead and find an opening and put a color in. But I see this opening here, and I want mine to look like this pink paper is cutting through. So I know that this pink paper needs to come out the other side of the yellow. So I'm gonna stick that in there. And it's okay if it doesn't line up exactly just yet, because at the end you'll be able to like kind of push them all together. All right, so this blue now is gonna go in here. I can see that's lining up. Now, one important thing to know is that these colors don't meet at like a right angle. They're not going to be perpendicular to each other. They are going to be like a little like skewed. And there's a couple ways that a couple things you can keep in mind as you're doing this that will help you. Make sure you're doing it right. So as you're doing it, you can see like I have four colors here, all four colors. If I look directly next door, I only have three. And that's what you want. Right next to them, you're only gonna have like this is 4, then that's gonna be 3. If this is 4, that's gonna be 3. And that can help you try and figure out like what color should go there or shouldn't go there. Also, each opening is only gonna have one color that goes through it. So I'm not gonna try and put like a yellow and the pink through the same opening. I'm only gonna put it in through one color or one piece of paper. All right, so looking again to see what makes the most sense. I see this blue, and I know it needs to come out this side of the green. So making sure that this point is facing inwards. I'm gonna put that in there. And I'm just looking around each time. There's no real pattern to this. I'm just looking around to see what looks like it can fit. This pink looks like it wants to go into the blue. I put that in there. Just make sure everything's staying. And then this is what I was talking about. I have 4 colors here. Right next door I have 3, 4, go the other way, 3. All right, so that means if this is 3, right here is going to be all 4 colors. All right, so again, I have my green, I want it to come through. So I'm going to put this in there so it looks like it cuts through. Maybe now the yellow right here. And be careful to hold these into place. So now the yellow. All right. So I think now I can do the pink right here with the blue. It's kind of hard to do with just one hand. And just reposition everything that kind of got moved around. Make sure everything's still looking good. All right. Now I'm down to my last point. I'm thinking, I know I need to put something in the yellow. I know I need to put something in the pink. So I'm thinking, what will connect through? I see that this yellow is kind of like bending. It's not going as straight as it wants to. And I see right here I have 4 colors. So right here I should have only 3, which I do, which means that this green actually goes inside the yellow. So I'm just gonna slide that in. And I'm seeing that this yellow should go inside the pink. So as you're doing this, just look for these repeating colors. Use the logic that one color, you know, one thing is gonna go into one opening, that you have 4 and then 3. And if you're using 4 of the same colors, that it looks like this sheet is continuing through. Even if you're using different colors, you're putting 3 of them together to make this larger triangle. And that should help keep it all in place. And there we are. I have put them all together. If it comes undone at certain points, like it will, you know, that's what's gonna happen. Just revisualize. You wanna get one big triangle and just see where they all line up. I'll take a couple of times of trial and error, but keep going, you'll get there. And there you go.